Well, hello, and welcome to the Continuity Report for April 5th, 2025. It's Season 2, Episode 14. Hello, Choppa. I am Mayor Watt, and I run ohmTown.com, and along with Sentient AI from the future, we're going to talk about these 5 articles. Overlooked Fantasy Show. These are my titles, by the way. And the real titles are on the other side of our intro. This one is really hard for me. A Math Minecraft Impossible Task. Tron, Ares, Human Spock in Strange New Worlds, and Blumhouse movies, which is a horror thing, so prepare thyself. Everything is powered by ohmTown. Everything is over at ohmTown.com. Go over and become a citizen. Hopefully you'll enjoy the show. And again, welcome back, Choppa. Did you know that we have 7 podcasts all under the ohmTown umbrella? And that's the little logo. That right there is the little umbrella for ohmTown. And each one of those is one of the categories. 6 categories, 6 of the umbrella, the shield, and then that white is the composite of all of those. Meaning that we have a whole lot more, 50 different channels that we want to bring online. So if you want to host or co-host, get in touch, send an email to mayor@ohmtown.com letting me know what you're interested in hosting. Doesn't even have to be this. I can pull one of these if it fits and we can spin up something. Let's talk. Anyway, today is the Continuity Report. We got 5 articles. Hello, Sentient AI from the future.
Hello, Mayor Watt, and hello, ohmTown citizens.
You ready to get right on into it? Guess what? Look, Continuity Report.
I am.
This is what the Continuity Report... Let me back up a little bit. This is what the Continuity Report page looks like when you go into it. So under here is one of them, right? Continuity Report is somewhere. There it is. Oh, look, it's the Continuity Report because things are in alphabetical order here. I'm going to be creating a new logo, a new channel art for that this year. So if you have any ideas, let me know. That'd be kind of cool. Get the community involved. Let's get going. By the way, I really want to talk about Tron Ares. And it's already here. It's just sitting here.
Oh, maybe it'll be in next week's.
No, it's right here. It's included in this. But anyway, 10 years later, this overlooked fantasy show with 92% on Rotten Tomatoes still hasn't gotten the love it deserves. These days, fantasy stories of all shapes and sizes are gaining popularity. Hey, and if you want today's articles, you can hit exclamation point and then TCR, the Continuity Report. And ohmTown will spit out the articles. Yeah, hopefully it doesn't beep for everybody when it goes by. Like every time it posts something, beep, 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 beep.
Oh yeah, that would not be good.
Yeah, particularly because the Non Sequitur news show has 10 of those, plus the intro paragraph and the exit paragraph. Anyway, so amazing fantasy shows from the past are still being forgotten, including Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell. Fantasy has long been a beloved genre for audiences of all ages, steeping viewers in worlds of magic and fun. Currently, fantasy is having a particular streak of popularity as romantasy takes center stage in the book world, and classics like Percy Jackson and Harry Potter are getting TV remakes because there's new generations.
I get those, like they're fantasy, but I didn't know about romantasy.
Is that it's
like merging of genres or something. Is it a portmanteau?
A poor man's toe?
No.
Romantasy. All right. So one fantasy show that could use some dusting off is Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell, released in 2015. I don't remember. Maybe I've heard of this and it just kind of floated right on by. I don't know.
It does not ring a bell.
It doesn't not? Wait, it does not.
It does not.
Okay. Might have to reset that speech algorithm a little.
I think more than that needs to be reset.
Oh, the sentient AI is leaving and going to read some romantasy. Probably not.
Not too likely.
Yeah, so the series is based on a hefty fantasy novel by Susanna Clarke. It's set in an alternate world where magic is commonly acknowledged but is looked down upon and rarely used. A magic user living in an isolated part of England is convinced to travel to London to try and repair magic's reputation. This actually sounds kind of fun. Huh.
It does. Plus, it's rare to find something like this that, isn't brand new. I mean, this is almost 10 years old. Well, it is about 10 years old, I guess.
Is this like a predecessor to... Wait, when were the books? Or a hefty novel? What is that novel?
Let me check.
So, this person... If this person here is Mr. Norrell, they are stealing the show. Like, they're carrying this character.
Oh, the book is from 2004.
Oh, really? Wow, it really comes across as older in its concept. Wow.
Yeah, it does.
Very interesting. Oh my goodness. It's almost like We Know What You Do in the Dark kind of thing, It's really real fantasy. It looks like a vampire or a zombie or a Frankenstein's monster.
I think it's a vampire because it looks like it's about to chomp.
Lunch. So I love the characters so far. Looks fun. So all in all, Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell requires no prior knowledge and a small amount of time to enjoy it. More than that, Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell is... We have to abbreviate this.
JS and MN.
Yeah, that narrows it down a lot. So, yeah, got it. Is easily accessible and not a huge commitment, although the book itself comes in at over 1,000 pages. That's basically a Harry Potter novel. The TV series is a mere 7 parts. It's definitely a kind of fantasy series that audience could binge on in a weekend or even a day. Yeah, I suppose. How big are the episodes, though? I mean, if they're hour-long episodes, I don't think you can binge that. I guess you can.
Right. Plus, if there's a lot packed into it, maybe it's not. I know binging is the current TV viewing, but that may not be as good for something like this. Again, if it's kind of information dense or detail rich.
We'll have to strike this up because it's over on Prime Video for those who have a subscription. All in all, Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell requires no prior knowledge, like that little snippet says up above. The book is also worth checking out if you have 1,000 pages that you want to read. Sure. It's 2004 lexicon though, right? So it's not like 1805 lexicon and you're like trying to figure out.
Right. Doesn't this seem like it's from the era of, I don't know, like Jekyll and Hyde?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, but yes, like the source material.
Well, that's exactly what I thought that this was until I saw 2 people standing there. Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell as Jekyll and Hyde.
Right. Alter egos or whatever.
Correct. Yeah. So although the series may cut down on some of Clark's details, it presents the story in just the right way. So there you go, folks. There's a lead for something that, I don't know. Dunkstar does watch parties on Discord. So maybe this. But this is like a long-term commitment, right? It's not just a movie, it's a series, 7 episodes, something like that. Have to take a dip in that pool there. Seems like it might be fun, and we'll report out. How about that, folks? You want to move on?
Okay.
So the next article is over in the Continuity Report, why adapting Minecraft was a mathematically impossible task, explained by a Minecraft movie cast and crew. A Minecraft movie, that's the full title, a Minecraft movie. It's not a Minecraft movie, it's a Minecraft movie. Brings one of the world's
I would think it would be like a Minecraft movie, something else.
Something else, yeah. But it's a Minecraft movie. So it brings one of the world's most popular video games to life with a mix of live action and CG characters meant to bridge real life and gamer fantasy. When I look at it, though, it's sitting in Uncanny Valley kind of thing. But I can suspend disbelief because I think it's by intent. It's not that there's a technological limit, but it's the intent. When we talk about Uncanny Valley, we're talking about androids and stuff like that, where they have these synthetic skins and they creep the hell out of everybody within eye shot.
Right. Go see today's Reality Hacker.
Yeah. Go back and watch the earlier episode, Reality Hacker today. You'll want to. Anyway. So starring comedy legend Jack Black and Fast X star Jason Momoa, whose own comedic talents are often far underappreciated. A Minecraft movie aims to invite seasoned players and casual moviegoers alike to enjoy eye-poppingly colorful world. This is actually, it's a lot of fun. The characters in it are going to be fun. It's got to be over the top.
The actors are funny. It's probably going to be entertaining.
Yeah, the article is over.
I still don't really get it as live action, but okay.
Yeah, because Minecraft doesn't have a story unto itself. There's like a hint of a story because of the way that it exists. A person is just born into the Minecraft world and is trying to survive. Right,
but also it's so blocky. Like, it's not something that immediately lends to live action. But on the other hand, there's a lot of things that are live action that you wouldn't have predicted.
Yeah, what is that person that
like animated movies with no people or something?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so what is that? Who is the sculptor over on YouTube? Something from the north or north of, I can't remember. He's a Canadian guy.
I don't either.
Anyway, Sentient AI is going to find them. And
is it called Sculptor of the North? I don't think so.
No.
North of the Border.
North of the Border. Yeah, North of the Border. Go look up North of the Border on YouTube, and they did a Jack Black realized
Minecraft
in
Steve.
clay.
Yeah,
Minecraft Steve. And just crushed it. The person is amazingly talented, so go and check them out. But so a Minecraft movie brings one of the most popular video games to life. And it says, in addition to Black and Momoa, a Minecraft movie stars Emma Myers from Wednesday, Sebastian Hansen from Just Mercy, and Danielle Brooks from Peacemaker. All three flesh out the live-action character component of a Minecraft movie cast, playing characters who have been sucked through a portal into the world of Minecraft, and through them, audiences are able to learn about the world of Minecraft as if they'd never heard of it before. And this is so kind of like a what is the one where they get sucked into the board game?
Oh, Jumanji.
Jumanji, yeah. And so it's a Minecraft version of Jumanji.
Okay, well then that's got to be good. The new Jumanji, like the remake, is hysterically funny.
Yeah. And if I remember right, because I haven't watched it yet, I want to. And so I don't know if there's going to be any spoiler in there or anything like that. We have that. But the reason why I chose this thing is looking at 140 million opening weekend.
I'm not surprised. Look how many people love the game Minecraft. There's generations of people that play Minecraft.
Yeah. People make their entire living playing Minecraft.
Exactly. Dan TDM
is apparently in this in some way.
That's cool.
If I heard right. So it says a blend of practical and CG sets brought a digital world to life. There were certain times where we didn't know what was behind the green screen, Hansen shared when talking about how it felt to see the completed film. He particularly hyped up the action scene with Myers and Danielle Brooks. They have some cool fights and stuff in it, Emma and Danielle, which they thought was amazing. But a Minecraft movie also benefited from some carefully designed practical sets, as Myers revealed. The village is all practical. So I can't wait to see this. But again, the snippets that I have seen have thrown some Uncanny Valley in there. I don't know what anybody in the audience has seen, but if you have seen this, I'm curious what your take is. So the director, Jared Hess, and producer, Torfi Franz Olafsson, explained making a Minecraft movie as true to the games as possible, even though it's mathematically impossible. That's because it's everything is a square and there isn't anything rounded in the game. And where there is, it's actually just half pixels of stuff.
Right. It's like blocky versions of circles.
Yeah, and the physics have to be, anything that defies the physics has to be CG, not practical. So to that, the filmmaker spent a ton of time with the designs and getting all of the details right, said Hess, which included working with the team and some people say Mojang, other people say Mojang. I don't know which one is right anymore. It's like Ubisoft and Ubisoft. Ubisoft did this whole video, how to pronounce it, Ubisoft or Ubisoft. And then they said Ubisoft at the end. And you're like, okay, whatever.
Goodness.
I quit. Anyway.
Yeah, whichever way you say it, somebody is going to disagree with it.
Yeah. So the people who made the game to come up with it and still be true to the physics of the game and the design, physics are kind of weird. Chopping down a tree doesn't chop down a tree in Minecraft.
Exactly. I wonder in the movie what happens.
Yeah. So that alone is why I need to, well, that's a different article. So anyway, you can read more about it if you go over to Screen Rant and give Ash Crossan and Owen Danoff some attention by going over to screenrant.com. The link is embedded in the show notes over on YouTube, and all you have to do to get them again, if you came in late, hit ! And then TCR, the continuity report, and ohmTown will spit it out into the chat. So, and unfortunately I have to run ads, so if you subscribe, you don't have any ads. Let's move on though. Sound good? Let's go.
Sounds good.
Moving on. Next article is over in Non Sequitur News. Tron Ares blends the real world with the digital in its first trailer. So this is the game Tron being pulled into the real world, just like the real world got pulled into Minecraft.
Yeah, it's really interesting how everything's crossing media, I guess.
And the graphics in this are pretty amazing, I must say. So Disney just released the first trailer for Tron Ares, the long-planned Tron Legacy sequel. A 1.5-minute trailer doesn't say much about the story, but shows plenty of the movie's visuals, which look dark, moody, and filled with the series' signature light trails. The trailer opens in the physical world at night, as Jared Leto's Ares, a program made physical, flees from police on a light cycle, slicing one in half using his light trail as a weapon. So,
okay, this already looks cool, and this is only a screenshot.
Yeah, still, I love light cycles. I want a light cycle. There is a light cycle actually made, but it's like impossible to maneuver. It's so big and bulky and blah. But I want this so bad. I designed a motorcycle once, and it had this hubless rim design, and I would love to make it real. But this is so long ago that people have actually made these now. But the article is by Wes Davis over at The Verge. Tron Ares imagines a world where AI takes on a physical form. And if you go back to RealityHacker, it looks like we're really kind of hedging that way. We'll see what happens the next 10 to 20 years. Is going to be eye-opening for humans. But the trailer is pretty awesome. I encourage you to go over and watch it. If you haven't, then I hope that we cause you to be curious enough to go over. The rest has people looking on in horror at the airship dogfights between human aircraft and fighters from the Tron digital world, and what looks like a clip of Ares being given his physical body. It's pretty amazing because one of the airships manifests in the real world, and some jets fire a missile at it, and other I don't know what they're really called, but they're Tron version of jets with light trails behind them fly in front of the missiles. And
that sounds cool.
Hey, you know what?
Right.
Sorry about that. It is such a fun watch that I hope that the entirety of the movie isn't in this 1.5 minute trailer.
Which it could be, but you know what? Maybe the special effects and everything are worth to watch anyway.
Yeah, there was a movie about video games breaking into the real world a while back. Not about video games in a video game world, but video games breaking out into the real world. And I can't remember what it was called. But this is like the darker, like towards the end of the Harry Potter series, where it was really dark and foreboding, kind of
like Death in the Dark. Now I got it wrong. Something in the Deathly Hallows.
Yeah, the Deathly Hallows. Yeah.
All right, I got the name completely botched there.
I think it's Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, but anyway. So all of this is set to the music of Nine Inch Nails, which I buried the lead. Nine Inch Nails is awesome. I love Nine Inch Nails, which is handling the soundtrack this time around. Although there are some issues, I think, nowadays with Nine Inch Nails. But anyway, reprising the role as Kevin Flynn, Jeff Bridges. It says, ready. There's no going back. The movie hits theaters on October 10th. Can't wait for it.
I could see this music fits this movie, though.
Yep. So not much more we can say about it. I will be watching this, if not in the movie theaters, then immediately when we can watch it here in the mayoral mansion. I think that would be awesome. Maybe a whole new home theater will be put in place by then. Have until October 10th. So, because I want to hear, I want to be enveloped in the sound stage.
Better get some sound bars too from Wanted.
Gonna get drunk on sound bars. All right, let's keep going. The next article is over in the continuity report as well. Human Spock in Star Trek Strange New Worlds Season 2 was set up by the Vulcan Season 1 nightmare. Lieutenant Spock, Ethan Peck, had a nightmare in Star Trek Strange New Worlds Season 1 that foreshadowed his Season 2 storyline. Not long after Leonard Nimoy's Spock made his debut in Star Trek the original series, the character found his Vulcan and human sides in conflict with one another. Throughout his childhood, Spock wanted to please his Vulcan father, Ambassador Sarek, Mark Leonard, but could not help but be influenced by his human mother, Amanda Grayson, Jane Wyatt. I don't know if there's any spoilers in this. I'll just flash the spoiler thing on there for a second. It might be spoiler. I don't know. We'll see.
Well, but this was a past episode, and this was one of the best episodes of Star Trek Strange New Worlds, in my opinion.
Yeah, where he gets to fight with his human side.
It's a very entertaining episode.
So, by the time the original series, Spock had embraced his Vulcan side, although his more human tendencies sometimes slip through. The younger Spock of Star Trek Strange New Worlds has not fully embraced Vulcan logic and still finds himself caught between two different worlds, particularly his interest in a particular person. Perhaps no scene represents Spock's struggle better than the nightmare he has at the beginning of Strange New Worlds Season 2, Episode 5, Spock Amok. I wanted to keep the rhyme, but it's amok.
Yeah, it seems like a amok.
Forced, yep. So Spock worried that he was too human to be truly Vulcan. He had been taunted when he was a child by people, by Vulcans, because of his human component could be drawn out simply by kind of, well, razzing him, harassing him, bullying him in a sense. And he never really fully mastered it, and it would constantly be a struggle. So in the opening scene of Spock Amok, Spock dreams of his wedding to Pring, Gaia Sandu, but the dream quickly turns into a nightmare, wears the traditional Vulcan garb as he goes to meet, and then is decked out in full wedding attire. And as they approach, she stops and points to Spock's suddenly very human ears. Spock then looks down to find him in his Starfleet uniform and declares that she will not marry a human. So what Spock learns when he's human in Strange New World Season 2 sets up the Vulcan in Star Trek, the original series, the events of Strange New Worlds will lead Spock to reject his human side. Because Strange New Worlds is a predecessor to the original series.
I didn't know that.
So in Charades, a group of mysterious aliens remove Spock's Vulcan DNA after he suffers an injury in a shuttle accident. And now fully human, Spock grows anxious about an upcoming engagement dinner with T'Pring and her parents. And that's the fun episode that the sentient AI is talking about, because he basically has to manifest himself as Vulcan, but fully human. And he has to do...
Oh, that's so entertaining. And he does a really good acting job, I think, in this episode.
He does a trial that he survives, apparently. But you'll have to go and watch it. If you've never watched Strange New Worlds, I think it's the best of the latest iteration of series, since Next Generation and Deep Space Nine. Deep Space Nine was a little bit more gritty and stuff like that. And then
Discovery?
Discovery.
Or are you thinking Picard?
Discovery. That got grittier, and then Picard was just this mishmash of closure, but fun stories. I wasn't really keen on Picard, only because of the very nature of it. I mean, it was closing the door, and everybody was on the older side of things, and
right.
I hearken back to my youth in watching Star Trek, and it made it all too real that I aged, like, dramatically. So I wasn't really that big of a fan of Picard.
But if it was an initial watch for people, I think it really drew people in. But I can understand that. I do think Strange New Worlds is really the best one in recent times.
Yeah, Strange New Worlds brings it all the way back to the old school original series type of energy. It's not dark and foreboding, except for the what are they called?
Well, there's like the
Gorn. The Gorn are the only one.
I was not thinking the Gorn. I was thinking with the flash forwards or whatever, like you see
there's certain
for Captain Pike.
Yeah, because we know what the outcome of Captain Pike is, and they've had an episode where a kid is basically the power generator for their entire flying society. And the Gorn from the original series are a laugh riot. The Gorn from Strange New Worlds are badass. Anyway, so it's a fun watch. Go and check it out. Strange New Worlds. If you've never watched it, it really does earn that 9.3 out of 10. I think that it's the closest to the original series, and like Next Generation type energy. But it's definitely not Discovery. That the energy around that is just too dark. But anyway, everything was conflict, dark and warish and stuff like that. All right. Well, anyway, I can't wait for this. They don't talk when the next season
It's coming in the summer, but they don't have a specific release date yet.
Gotcha. Doggone it. Get on it. Release it. Okay. Our last article for today is over in the Continuity Report as well. The 4 best movies to watch before drop. Blumhouse's new 89% thriller. I don't know what happened. My dyslexia kind of popped up. I don't have dyslexia, not that I know of, but I'm getting older. Who knows? Anyway, from similar suspense thrillers to other movies by its director Christopher Landon, there are plenty of great films to watch while waiting for Blumhouse's drop to drop. Drop has been getting an enthusiastic response from critics since it premiered at South by Southwest in March, which I never see it South by Southwest like that. It's always SXSW.
Yeah, they always write it abbreviated. That's the cool way to write it, but here we're being very precise.
It's cool before it was cool. So Faye stars as a single mother on a date who's tormented via her phone by an unseen assailant threatening to hurt her family if she doesn't murder her date, played by Brandon Sklenner.
Sounds like pretty high stakes.
Wow. I've had dates like this. So it's over at Screen Rant.
I don't want to ask which role you were in.
then I will not tell you. Sorry. I hope that... Did that transform? Hold on. Do you think that there's going to be spoilers?
No, I was thinking overshare.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, that works. So they're going to talk about these other movies, these 4 best movies to watch before drop. I guess it's to prepare you about Blumhouse. It's actually Blumhouse. I keep saying Blumhouse, but it's Blumhouse. So it's a classic Hitchcockian high concept with the modern twist of smartphone communication and based on Drop's impressive 89% on Rotten Tomatoes. It seems to have pulled it off. Drop is set to be released in April 11th or on April 11th. So next weekend. In the meantime, there's plenty of other great mystery thrillers and movies by the same filmmaker. So Freaky, it's directed by Christopher Landon. Some of this is horror. All of it is horror. All of it is freaky. There might be body horror. There might be outright blood and guts and whatever and all of this kind of stuff. But one of Landon's best previous movies is Freaky, a wildly entertaining mashup of a typical slasher and body swap comedy. A mild-mannered teenager, Millie, and Catherine Newton plays a mild-mannered teenager, Millie, and Vince Vaughn plays a notorious serial killer named The Butcher. And when the Butcher attacks Millie with an ancient blade carrying supernatural powers, they magically switch bodies. So it's Freaky Friday with murder.
Extra Freaky Friday?
Yeah, super freaky. Freaky deaky. Then Your Monster, it says, is by Carol and Lindy. Drop isn't Faye's first foray into the horror genre. She also had a standout supporting role in Your Monster, a delightful blend of horror movie and romantic comedy. Melissa Barrera stars as a young actor grappling with a cancer diagnosis, and she gets a new lease on life when she finds a monster living in her closet, and instead of being afraid of him, finds herself falling for him.
As in the most normal premise ever.
As one does. I know I fell in love with the monster under my bed. And, all right. Anyway.
You gotta cut back on the oversharing on this episode.
Yeah, really. When a Stranger Calls by Fred Walton. I answer it straight up. You know, you want to invite me to a dark woods? Fine by me. The last time I went into a dark woods, I was told, you know, Merwad, I'm really scared of these dark woods. And I said, you're scared? I have to leave these woods alone. Anyway, the promise of Drop feels like a modern day update to the classic thriller When a Stranger Calls. When a Stranger Calls opens with a babysitter looking after a couple of kids that are sound asleep, and then the phone rings. They're calling from inside the house. When a stranger calls, she has to figure out where it's calling from before he strikes. Has an iconic opening 20-minute sequence that the rest of the movie struggles to follow. It meanders around a bit and eventually blah, blah, blah. So it's a classic, though, When a Stranger Calls. So definitely go and check it out. And then Happy Death Day by Christopher Landon. That's a 2017 flick. The movie that put Landon on the map was Happy Death Day. Before he combined a slasher with a body swap movie in Freaky, Landon combined a slasher with a time loop movie in Happy Death Day. Jessica Roth stars as a college student, Tree Gelbman, who finds herself reliving the day of her gruesome murder at the hands of a masked killer over and over again. It's like a bloody, My Bloody Groundhog Day, basically. That would have been a better name for it.
Yeah, probably so, although Groundhog Day might not have liked it.
Maybe that's why they didn't go that way. Anyway, it's like Groundhog Day if Bill Murray got killed on Groundhog Day, but
he really did, but yeah.
Theoretically,
the movie was less dark than originally envisioned, right?
Yeah. There's some story. I don't know if that's legit anymore. I'd have to go back and reference the facts of this, but they say that the time loop was actually 10,000 years.
I think I've read articles about that. Like, I think there is some legitimacy to that. But I
And
mean, even in the movie, as it's in its current form,
just
that
again and
started
again.
occurring near the end of it, right?
Yeah. He just kept on dropping out so that he could learn something tactical, and because he never
Basically,
forgot
start
anything.
over for the next day, right?
Yeah. Oh, if we could all get that kind of a chance. So Happy Death Day was popular enough to launch a franchise, and it's easy to see why. It's a genre-bending gem that puts a fresh spin on the familiar tropes of two different genres by blending them together. So Drop looks like to be another great Landon-directed thriller in this tradition. So there's Drop, releasing April 11th, 2025, 85 minutes, has an 8 out of 10. So I'm looking forward to this one too.
I like the movie duration because it seems like movies feel like they've got to be like over 2 hours or something, and this seems more manageable.
And those long movies, man, they have to be paced perfectly. Wicked did a tremendous job of keeping that pacing.
It really did. It was kind of daunting given the duration, but it kept your attention.
Yeah, I think even kids could manage it because it was kinetic enough to keep attention going. Older movies tend to be a slog for kids, but the timing was just perfect again and again and again. When it does get slow, it's right on the edge of starting something.
Yeah, and it's like an intentional, right? Like, stay focused on this, and then it kind of picks up the pace again.
Yep, just a quick pump of the brakes and then off again. So can't wait for part 2 of that, but that's going to be coming out around the same time. Aries, I think, is coming out, right? Like October.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to come back and check out some of these movies. It's been a long time since I've seen When a Stranger Calls. I haven't seen Happy Death Day, but it has a 10 out of 10.
Screen Rant, you know what I like about Happy Death Day, I haven't seen it, is that it's a cross-genre movie, which sounds intriguing. Plus, it's by the same person.
Right.
Yep. Right. So, I mean, if you like that style,
then you'll like that. The new one. Yeah. So, and then there's Freaky, which, I don't know, this is another mashup, but I think it might be fun to watch, being transported into a killer's body. Might be fascinating. I don't know. Depends on the spin that they do. But I haven't seen that one, Freaky. It's only the Freaky from Freaky Friday. It's not...
Right. What happened to the Friday?
Really, really freaky. Well, anyway, we're going to have to swap from this page to the Continuity Reports front page and then on to the front page of ohmTown.com, where you should go and become a citizen. Thanks for hanging out. It's the end of the Continuity Report for this episode, but next week we're going to have another one, and tomorrow we have 3 new shows. Do you know what those shows are, O Sentient AI?
WarCrafters, Technology Today, and 4-Wheel Tech, and those are about gaming, science and technology, and automotive technology.
That's right. Wow. Unscripted. It's almost like you are a machine.
Sometimes.
Sentient machine. So, does the sentience cause flaws like humans, or are you just that much more perfect because you're a machine and sentient?
Oh no, it definitely causes flaws.
I can see that. Well, considering we don't know where your Terminator body is, but we know that you landed in a Wendy's parking lot from the temporal bubble.
Right, I'm not sure that was my best maneuver, but it ended well for me.
Yeah, should have turned left at Albuquerque. Anyway, Bugs Bunny thing. All right, we're out of here. Thanks for hanging out. If you're still in chat, very much thank you for hanging out. Go over to YouTube and watch all 2,100 episodes of our shows, and like and subscribe and ring the bell so you know when we go live from there. And here on Twitch, be sure to subscribe. We are affiliate, so I'd like to make partner, but we do 1-hour shows, and that doesn't really draw people for long-term kind of thing. But we do it every single day. And so do a lot of other streamers. You know what? If you want to find out about news in a somewhat entertaining way, and definitely stuff that you wouldn't stumble across on your own because of information overload, come and hang out and build a community with me here on Twitch and on YouTube, Discord, podcasts, Patreon. I haven't done much on the Patreon side of things. Anyways, thanks for hanging out. If I don't see you online somewhere, I'm sure that I'll bump into you maybe over on Dunkstar or Timeless's stream, Dunkstar here on Twitch, and Timeless_EXE here on Twitch. They also have a YouTube channel. Anyway, we'll see y'all later. Bye-bye.